Welcome to the headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, we investigate the effects of the smog from Indonesia on residents in Singapore and Malaysia. In Canada, Tzu Chi volunteers joined the annual Rapid Response Training Day held by the Global Medic in Toronto. And we take a look at the responsibility of media and why it is important for reporters to follow the principle of journalism. To clear away forests cheaply, farmers and developers in Indonesia resort to using fire to burn down trees. However, the resulting smog has enveloped nearby Singapore and Malaysia, lowering visibilities and affecting citizens' respiratory systems. Here's more.
Pedestrians in Malaysia's Johor Bahru all have to wear a mask as a thick smoky haze has enveloped the region. For those without a mask, they could only cover their nose and quickly head towards their destination.
I have to work outside, so the smog is making me cough and my eyes are dry. I can hardly see or drive with the visibility so low. I'm coughing pretty hard. If this is allowed to continue, breathing will be difficult too.
This is reusable, so after you take it home, ask your mommy to wash it every day.
The poor air quality has everyone scared. Besides readying their students for the situation, teachers of Johor Bahru Tzu Chi Kindergarten also take the opportunity to educate them on the situation.
We now hold our activities indoors. We no longer go outside. If we have to leave the school, we ask our students to put on their masks.
鼻子、眼睛。你知道为什么会有这个烟霾吗？因为印尼烧森林。可是这样子会对水不好。对地球爷爷。对地球爷爷啊，还有呢？还有人。对人。还有人啊？为什么人会怎样？人会生病。
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in Singapore are also helping the public battle the smog.
Drink more water. Okay, drink more water. Okay, thank you.
The city-state is the first to bear the smoky haze from Indonesia. In a day, 80 Tzu Chi volunteers gave away some 9,500 face masks.
How can anyone in Singapore be giving away free items? Every passerby was very surprised.
Sometimes you cannot even buy a mask when the air quality is bad like this, which is troublesome and dangerous. I think Tzu Chi is being very helpful in this matter.
The white side is the inside. See this line here? This way the pollutants will be caught here.
This is the worst air pollution in 7 years. At one point, visibility within the city was less than 1 kilometer. The smog is a serious threat to the young and old, who have a weaker immune system. Volunteers also hand out relief packs to their care recipients to help them get prepared.
You have to pay attention to the pollution index.
Inside the 200 Tzu Chi relief packs are masks, eye drops, and instructions to help everyone get through this disaster.
You can't go outside like this. Young children are frail and have a weaker immune system. Sometimes I shed tears even while sleeping.
Hopefully, everyone will learn to value our environment, and the same thing will not happen again in the future.
In New Zealand, to help families in need, Tzu Chi volunteers work with South Auckland's Community Development and Safety Department and Papatoetoe City Budgeting Services to come up with a list of low-income families, which volunteers plan to distribute food every 2 weeks. Since this was the first time a charity organization requested to personally deliver the supplies to those in need, Tzu Chi's request was at first denial, but eventually volunteers were finally granted permission.
June in New Zealand marks the start of their winter, and the downpour does not deter Tzu Chi's food distribution, but only quickens everyone's step. This is Tzu Chi's first visit to Papatoetoe, and with the help of South Auckland's Community Development and Safety Department, Tzu Chi volunteers were first able to receive a list of low-income families from the city's budgeting service. At this distribution, 10 households came forth to receive their aid, which included fresh vegetables, food supplies, and daily necessities. A Tzu Chi brother even kindly helped the recipients carry their items to their car.
Thank you so much. That's really lovely of you. We always wonder how we're going to manage, so that's lovely. Thank you.
Even if a recipient traveled by bus, help was offered as well. Seeing the volunteers going the extra mile elicited praise from those waiting by the bus. Social worker Mr. Morgana stood off to the side as an observer. Originally, he wanted Tzu Chi to only provide the supplies and not hold a distribution. However, he now has a change of heart and even wants to help spread the words about Tzu Chi.
I want some more. Okay. I put it there.
Send us an email, like individual family, they need special help, then you let us know. Then we ask the permission, we can visit them, and I try our best to help them.
Seizing the opportunity to help others, those that give assistance are also blessed.
In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers recently held another clinic in San Bernardino County, California, the second so far that has been held in this relatively poor district, which lies outside of Los Angeles. Overall, the 3-day clinic served over 3,000 patients. Also making an appearance was Tzu Chi's new mobile vision clinic, which helped many see the world in clarity once again.
Under the hot sun, volunteers pack up the equipment needed for the upcoming free clinic in San Bernardino County, California. This is the second year U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a large-scale clinic here, and it is estimated that they will see over 3,000 patients during the run of the event.
So we're very excited to have the opportunity. This is our second annual Care for Healthy IE in partnership with Tzu Chi, so we're very excited to be in partnership with them again.
Tzu Chi's medical volunteers have been serving in the United States for over 20 years and have held dozens of free clinics in that time. New for this year's clinic, however, was the appearance of Tzu Chi's newly christened mobile vision clinic.
This has been great. It has been the first time for us to go on a road trip like this.
Before the start of the clinic, volunteers break up into groups to handle the hundreds of jobs, both big and little, that go into holding a clinic of this size, with many of them taking time off from work especially for this event.
3点半开始，然后就那个上路了。真的？那你这次来北加州来几个人？来6个。来6个人。
Finally, with all the preparation in place, at 3 p.m. on June 20th, the clinic officially opens its doors and takes in its first patient, who has been waiting since morning to be seen.
Actually, I got here like about 5 o'clock.
Morning?
Yeah.
This morning? Oh my.
Those coming to the free clinic are mostly migrant workers without insurance. For Paul, the 10-hour wait was rewarded with a thorough checkup, a pair of new glasses, and some important news.
Which one you see better?
This one beautiful.
He's better. I feel good. I got some news that I didn't like, but at least I know because they said I might have glaucoma. They wants me to go get tested.
During the clinic, patients not only enjoy free checkups, but also get to choose a pair of free glasses.
We hope that the selection of glasses that we have here will suit their taste and that they will go home with a pair that helps them see better.
Over 4 days, love and medical attention showered upon residents here in San Bernardino County.
In Singkaran, Indonesia, a little girl by the name of Fiona was diagnosed with cardiovascular disease when she was just 3 years old. Her medical bills further worsened her family's financial situation. Upon receiving the news, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to offer the family financial assistance as well as emotional support, giving Fiona a chance to receive the best treatment on her path to recovery.
The adorable little girl in the picture is 9-year-old Fiona of Singkaran, Indonesia. However, because she has a rare heart condition, her life has been widely different from other girls her age.
She gets tired easily and is often exhausted. Her lips and feet will turn purple.
For single parent Lucy, in order to cover her child's medical fees, she often has to take on multiple jobs. Yet now that the pair has met Tzu Chi, it seemed her daughter Fiona has a new shot at life. Tzu Chi volunteers accompany the mother-daughter pair on every checkup, and although the trips from Singkaran to Jakarta start to take their physical toll on the two, they know they have reached a turning point in their lives.
I told Fiona's mother to keep her spirits up and not to give up. She needs to keep going, as all things in their being are good for something.
Fiona had her second heart surgery in May of this year. Children's normal fear of needles and taking medicine is no longer an issue for her, as it has become routine.
Normally, myocardial rupture patients will only need 1 or 2 surgeries, but for her, she will need 5 procedures. So we have to do preparation work for each of the surgeries.
In order to offer emotional support for Fiona, Tzu Chi volunteers have brought her a stuffed animal.
Terima kasih dulu. Kalau udah besar pengen jadi apa?
Jadi dokter.
Oh, kenapa Fiona mau jadi dokter kalau udah besar?
Karena Fiona sakit.
With a strong will to live and optimism in life, the road to recovery for Fiona is not only steady, but also quickly approaching.
Global Medic is a Canadian NGO based in the city of Toronto, which offers emergency relief services to disaster victims around the world. Recently, the organization held its annual Rapid Response Training Day and invited local Tzu Chi volunteers to join them. Both NGOs hope that they will be able to work with each other in future disaster relief works and together help more people in need.
Using drinking water tablets to treat water, this was how Canadian NGO Global Medic helped the survivors of the AA floods in Taiwan back in 2009. At its annual training session, Tzu Chi volunteers in Canada were also invited to sample heat-resistant tent that can serve as a field hospital, an array of medical equipment and foldable beds, which are all necessary during disaster relief.
Some of your volunteers want to be helping the first responders in large fires and large processes with the delivery of food or the distribution of sandwiches or hot soup. We'd love to be able to put up the tents and the shelters required to be able to do that. So I think there's good synergy and a good opportunity to partner.
Sharing the same goal, through training together, both NGOs hope to better work together in future disaster relief missions.
In Taiwan's Pingdong, we meet Tzu Chi care recipient Mr. Chen, who was the sole breadwinner for his two daughters and parents. Unfortunately, last year, a car accident left him unable to work. Thankfully, Tzu Chi volunteers were by the family's side. Recently, volunteers discovered Mr. Chen's house had a leak and decided to help him repair his roof before the typhoon season begins.
Gingerly doing work on the rooftop, Tzu Chi volunteers are doing their best to give this family a comfortable living environment.
Both Mr. Chen and his parents' bedrooms leak. They hung out umbrellas to catch the rain. Seeing this problem, we decided to help them repair their roof.
A single parent of two daughters and the sole breadwinner of the family, Mr. Chen became immobile following a car accident last year. Tzu Chi has not only provided subsidies to help the family, but also decided to help the family fix their leaky roof.
My brother had a car accident. I live in Kaohsiung. Thank you, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, for helping my brother revamp his house. I'm really thankful.
Volunteers carefully remove the broken roof tiles and wood and then cover the holes with metal sheets. Repairing a roof is not an easy task, yet Tzu Chi volunteers see the job through so that Mr. Chen and his family are able to live in a house that can keep them safe and dry from any bad weather to come.
On June 15th, Tzu Chi volunteers in Beijing, China visited a nearby nursing home, bringing seniors much bliss and laughter. Through the day's event, many volunteers said it was a much rewarding experience. Let's take a look.
Our movements must be gentle and tender. Don't exaggerate our movements.
The warm greetings and hugs has become a standard greeting every time Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers visits this nursing home, bringing smiles to the residents' faces that never fade. Everybody's favorite game of bingo gets the brain working and has residents on alert. In spite of her age, this 90-year-old grandma still remembers every pressure point in the human body and shares her secret to longevity with her fellow residents.
When you put your heart into it, you won't need to say or do anything special. When you give love to others, it brings hearts together, and that love manifests instantaneously.
We are not only helping them, but rather we should thank them for giving us the opportunity to do good deeds and a chance to learn from them.
I'm surrounded by love and genuineness. Each visit has been rewarding and inspiring. I will take this as my job and continue to walk steadfast on the Tzu Chi path.
Each visit is always filled with laughter and delight and ends with much reward for the volunteers.
Last week, we investigated the impact of next media on Taiwan's media landscape in the past 12 years. Next, we take a look at the responsibility of media and why it is important for journalists to follow a profession code of ethics when reporting news.
欢迎总统莅临会场。请总统致辞。
教育部蒋部长。
新闻媒体记者是许多政府机关。
A journalist writes and distributes news and other information given by the government to the general public. Therefore, reporters have great power. However, if this power is not exercised properly, it may cause problems.
2005年4月，知名艺人倪敏然自缢身亡。
这个知名艺人
Years ago, Taiwanese comedian Ni Minran committed suicide, and because of his status in the country's entertainment industry, the news received widespread coverage. It affected many people in Taiwan.
According to studies, over-reporting on suicide news, particularly in celebrities, not only can influence the general public emotionally, but also lead to dramatic rises in suicide rates. In addition, suicide with criminal news with full picture and detailed description may trigger negative side effects.
Let's take the news of someone jumping off a building as an example. Some people will film the before and after of the suicide. In reality, detailed descriptions of the incident do not need to be reported because it may disturb the general public and have a negative impact on society.
请问一下，你支持台东这个美丽湾度假村的开发案吗？
No, I don't. I think there are problems and it is probably illegal too.
可是你觉得这样的开发案是不是其实可以增进一些当地的就业的机会啊？
它当然就是它。
Of course, with such a big resort, it will definitely bring more job opportunities. However, it will destroy the natural habitat around the area, and nothing will be left. I think there are different ways to solve this problem.
Do you believe everything you watch on the news? Let's take the previous interview as an example and edit it. Next, we add a voiceover to it and it will sound like this.
台东美丽湾的开发案虽然争议很大，但也不是每个人都持反对意见。
Of course, with such a big resort, it will definitely bring more job opportunities.
We can see that if a reporter does not follow journalism ethics, information can easily be manipulated.
A journalist can easily manipulate the truth, so it is hard for the general public to know what has really happened. Even if we want to look into the truth, the facts given to us may be false.
With great power in hand, when media outlets ignore social responsibility and professional ethics, the information presented to the general public may have a negative impact on society as a whole. On the other hand, if media can adhere to the interests of the public, they can help accelerate social progress.
Community news, crime news, or suicide news are not incidents that only relate to a particular person. If news media can look into the cause behind these tragedies, it may help the general public to rethink their views on these issues.
Therefore, it is important that journalists follow their professional code of ethics when reporting on the news, because their decision on what should be covered and how will have either a positive or negative effect on society.
On June 23rd, the Tzu Chi College of Technology and the Darling Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan both received a National Environmental Education Award from the Environmental Protection Administration for their effort in promoting environmentalism. Here's more.
Bending over to pick up PET bottles on the ground, this is an outdoor recycling activity for students at the Tzu Chi College of Technology who are putting recycling into practice.
We want them to understand this concept so that they can reduce their waste. The most ideal situation would be that one day we no longer need to practice recycling at all. This is an important notion to keep in mind if we wish to protect our Earth.
Also a forerunner in advocating environmental protection is the Darling Tzu Chi Hospital. Stickers by elevators serve as reminders for staff members and the general public to make more use of the stairs instead.
Each of our staff is playing his or her part. We organize recycling activities and we clean the streets in our communities and so on. All this is for our medical staff to become aware that every little action we take benefits the environment in a big way.
With the National Environmental Education Award, the Environmental Protection Administration hopes to encourage more members of society to join in safeguarding our Mother Earth.
To remember National Taiwan University Hospital Dr. Tzu Chi, who was hit and killed by a drunk driver in June of this year, her former classmates returned to their alma mater, Hualien Tzu Chi University, to perform and speak in her memory.
Here at the Tzu Chi alma mater, Tzu Chi University, her classmates from her graduating class returned to say their goodbyes and also to share their memories of this extraordinary young woman.
In this day and age, when we can decide to do anything, and in a difficult medical environment, we heard that she had decided to work for AIDS patients, a segment of the population that are usually shunned here in Taiwan. Hearing where she had decided to focus her energies, I knew it was something that I could never do.
In the end, I would like to say to Yu Ci, the things that you wanted to do in your life, we classmates will help you complete.
Listening to Tzu's former classmates share their fond memories of her work and life, her family is once again brought to tears.
Coming back to this campus and not seeing my daughter here has been so painful.
She hoped to come back to Tzu Chi and Hualien, just like Dean Wang and Dr. Liang Zhongzhao. Her plan was, once she received sufficient training at NTU, she would come back to Tzu Chi to serve. She felt that Tzu Chi was a part of her life and a part of her heart, while NTU was her arena for learning the skills of her trade.
Placing pink roses, a favorite of Tzu Chi in her memory, teachers, family members and classmates say a final goodbye to the doctor. Yet they know that her dream and love will continue to live on in the hearts of all those that knew her.
We go to Tzu Chi Sanchong grounds in Taiwan at the end of the show, where volunteers gather together to load 280 second-hand computers onto cargoes that will later be sent to schools in South Africa. It is hoped that these computers will help increase level of education in the country. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching the headlines. Goodbye.